All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Give me touching on the top prop bets in college basketball tonight. Yes, college basketball is back, and man, guys, we have some currently big edges right now, and let's just touch on that. Let's start the video out with those big edges that we currently have. And so this is insane, guys. Truly insane that we are getting these big edges. So I'm showing you guys this on Underdog. Let's go ahead and get into that Underdog slide. Big prop line differences between how PrizePicks and Underdog are valuing the slate for these fantasy score prop bets. So we got RJ Davis at 36.5 for his fantasy score. We got Brandon Smith at 36.35 for his fantasy score. Whereas on PrizePicks, they're both drastically different there. So like looking at RJ Davis, 31.5 on PrizePicks. Okay, we look at the projection data, does agree more so that's going to be a middle. And then you also look at the average sportsbook line, agrees that it should be more in the middle. That's a massive edge. Underdog seems to be the one that's wrong, sure. But given how big of a prop line difference that we have, we should be betting it both ways. And that's going to be the exact same thing here with Brandon Smith as well, where the average sportsbook line tells us that the PrizePicks line is mostly correct. Love that there. So the Underdog line, that's a massive edge. And on top of that, we are getting three other bets that are going to be good bets as well in college basketball tonight. Now, these are not as big of edges, but again, I love the fact that the projection data right here for Fletcher Lawyer for Purdue is telling us to bet the under. I love the fact that the average sportsbook line would have this at 21.23. And so at 22.5, that's a pretty big edge. And then we got Arthur Kaluma. Is that how you say his name? Again, a slight prop line difference between how PrizePicks is valuing it. And we see they're both probably a little bit too high compared to the average sportsbook line and compared to the projection data. That is great. Okay. And then we have one more here with Wade Taylor for his over fantasy score. If you look at Wade Taylor's log, even on PrizePicks, you're going to notice that he has been dominating over his last few games. Now, obviously, that dates back to the last season, but love the fact that he has consistently been able to get that over as well. And so, again, on Underdog, the line being at 32.3, the average sportsbook line, the fact that we're getting the line at 29.5, it's 20, almost 30. We can round it to 30. Still, that is a big edge. And so 5 bets already, guys, on Underdog in which we should be able to attack. And so simply put, guys, this should be kind of the Underdog bet of the day. Honestly, it's like that good of an edge. If these miss, it's kind of like, oh, well, we knew that we were getting big edges. And for what it's worth, guys, the thing about fantasy score when it comes to basketball, it's so much more projectable. It's so much more based off of like projected minutes, opponents. You don't have to, like in baseball, you have to worry about like doubles, steals, home runs. That's all factors in there that throughout the season, like, sure, you can project that out, but game by game, it's tough to establish kind of the baseline for those expectations. That's why, obviously, the lines are pretty low likelihood for those to hit. And then same thing with touchdowns in football, okay? Whereas basketball, they're really much more straightforward. And so we should not be getting those two massive prop line differences that we are getting on Underdog. So I wanted to start with those, obviously, because we're getting big edges. If you only want to bet the 5, obviously you can do a 5-slip flex bet there on Underdog. That's a big edge. If you guys have never signed up for Underdog, make sure you use the promo code 9to5 when you do. Take advantage of those big edges. They have a bunch of promo codes typically, or promos going on each and every day, seemingly. If you guys have never signed up, make sure you use the promo code 925 spelt out. They'll give you at least $100 deposit match up to $100 or 100% deposit match up to $100. So again, I wanted to start with that because that is just a massive edge. And then from there, not as big of edges, I would say mostly. A lot of the Gonzaga guys, I don't mind in general, especially like in terms of some of their projections. But given the edges that we're getting right now, I don't know if we exactly need to go in on those that much. And then for what's worth, I do want to call for Hunter Dickinson as well. Be on the lookout for his PrizePicks fantasy score. I was able to bet the over on PrizePicks at 35.5 this morning, just because the average sportsbook line was saying it should be at 37.5. Projection data likes at 38. So it'd be interesting to see where this line comes out to be on PrizePicks later on today. But then after that, pretty normal edge differences that we're getting here for Underdog. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into PrizePicks. And so, yeah, we jump into kind of just the cheat sheet here on PrizePicks, looking at some of the top prop bets that we have there. For college basketball, we are seeing Bruce Thornton for under his fantasy scores, one that's kind of popping up there. Average sportsbook line does have this at 30, though. So for me, it's a stay away. The reason why it's popping up is because it's heavily likely for him to get the under of 30. I don't really like that one, guys. The projection data does tell us to do the under. That's okay. The one that I like a little bit better, Jeremy Roach to get over his fantasy score. Again, not a big prop line difference, but when compared against the Underdog line at 26, that's a solid enough edge. Projection data is not favoring the over there, so it's going to be a tight line there, but overall not a bad prop bet. And real quickly, guys, if you are someone that uses the 9 to 5 cheat sheet, the college basketball prop bets are currently under the WNBA tab. I just need to change the name to that. They coincide together season-wise, so I just, instead of having to create a whole new tab, I just have it under WNBA. So just as an FYI, I wanted to call that out to you guys. But let's take a peek at some of the other prop bets that we are getting as well. And again, just more of a tight board from that point on. The biggest edges are going to be looking at those fantasy score prop line differences that we have. So I'm going to be running out some middling opportunities with those lines. I do want to call out some prop bets that we are getting in general for the day on PrizePicks that I will be running out as well. So I already did an NBA kind of video of what I'm looking at for some of my favorite bets. I want to call some of the other ones that are popping up here. So we have Jalen Duren for under his fantasy score of 29. He is someone where the minutes have been sporadic NBA wise. He got a lot of minutes last game. And so if the trend continues, I do expect him to get less minutes in this game. Jalen Duren's great. If he gets 30 minutes, he's going to get that over. And then Dante DiVincenzo, he is someone that hasn't exactly shot the basketball all too well. I would argue he is due for a good day shooting. And so the fact that his fantasy score is popping up for the over of 22, I'm happy to bet that one. I feel like that's a pretty solid bet there as well. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the bet of the day. Again, just want to call it, if you guys have never used PrizePicks before, make sure you use the promo code, the number 9, and then TO5. I'll give you guys a $50 deposit match when you bet your first $5. Very good advantage there. Just helps out the channel out as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that PrizePicks bet of the day. But first, do just remind you guys to use the promo code of Keep Cashing when you guys sign up for your 9 to 5 membership. If you guys want to, obviously. It's $10 a month when you use the promo code Keep Cashing. Get the first month for $8. Gives you access to all the tools that you saw in this video. And honestly, guys, this is like the nitty-gritty of sports betting right now. We got NFL going on. We got college basketball, one of the biggest edges all year. PGA is going to be starting. Well, it is still going, but going to be really starting up in about a month or so from now. And then obviously NBA is full throttle right now. So really the best time to think about doing that. All right, let's get into the bet of the day here for PrizePicks. Again, taking advantage of those big prop line differences, even though the data is telling us that the under fantasy score prop bets are better on Underdog, with how big of a prop line difference those are, we should be targeting those. And we are going to go with Bruce Thornton, even though I don't exactly like that under fantasy score. If you guys wanted to sub that out or just make this a 5-slip bet, that'd probably be the one I would roll with. We got Jeremy Roach for his over fantasy score. Again, you saw a slight edge there. Did go with Jalen Duren for under his fantasy score, even though I don't love it, but it's still good enough. And then Dante DiVincenzo for over his fantasy score. Again, just all bets that have a 54% likelihood to hit or close to that. Bruce Thornton, Jeremy Roach, both a little bit less than that, but we'll take that. Those are all good bets there. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys have a good opening night here for college basketball. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to give it a like on these videos, guys. Honestly, if we can get them to 100 likes, that just helps out the video and the channel out so much. That helps me be able to put out more content for you guys and really just reinvest in all the tools and everything. So it's just a simple way to help out the channel. Comment your guys' favorite prop bet if you guys like one of those as well. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.